to get collective bargaining in this country was historic. In those days, the police departments worked openly with the companies to prevent anybody from organizing. There was at least one union that failed before the United Auto Workers were able to organize the plants. It was incredible. You had to wear, if you had a union button, you had to wear it inside, pinned to your underwear. Because if they found out, if you were wearing the button and they found out about it, you were fired. But you were beat up all the way to getting tossed out.
Before they fired you?
Yeah, that would go along.
They fired you with a little pain.
Yeah, that's right. It was a painful discharge. And there were always problems. There was always somebody that was a spy inside their little organization, trying to get it together. And then along came Franklin Roosevelt with the New Deal, where the Wagner Labor Act allowed legally working people to form unions. And here today we meet with a determined effort to stamp out, limit, discourage people from joining the labor movement that's going on at a pace, with a frenzy, with a mean-spiritedness never known before. It's very simple. People, those who are not here with us in Denver, want to crush the unions. And those that are with us want to make joining a union easier and simpler. And that's the way it is with John McCain. That's the way it is with them. They're wrong on just about everything. And that's
Congressman Conyers, so your dad toughened you up. He got you to see what it meant to be a part of the union.
Well, he opened my mind up. And my dad used to always want to be a lawyer. I mean, that's how he got to be a rep, and then an international rep. But he used to read, and he made me learn after all the degrees that came my way that all education is self-education. I don't care what university you go to, how high, or what community college or high school, no matter how decrepit, it's all self-learning. And he used to read Clarence Darrow, but he would never say anything about us. All of us became lawyers.
All the kids became lawyers.
All the kids were going to law school, became lawyers, but he never said anything about it. And here was me reading with a flashlight on under the covers, Clarence Darrow. What the heck? What did this guy do that was so great? Well, plenty. As I found out.
Yeah,
but
we were just talking about William Jennings Bryan. He was on the other side of that Stokes Bunkie trial.
That's right.
He was on the right side.
And he came to Detroit for a number of great trials. But the whole thing is that he planted the seeds without telling me, and I restrained myself, so I'm so controlled. Revolutionary patience, Congressman Ellison. I don't tell my two boys that they've got to be lawyers. I tell them that they could be anything they want to be that makes them happy, but I'd be happy if you'd be lawyers.
So you became a lawyer,
And was your dad still around when you got elected to Congress?
Oh yes, my dad and mom came to Washington, and my campaign manager, Robert Millender, a lawyer, and all the lawyers, Harry Philo, now retired in New York, a lawyer, Dean Robb, a lawyer.
Did it feel pretty good to have your parents there when you got sworn into Congress?
Oh gosh. And
You want to tell these kids they should get elected to Congress? It's a pretty good deal.
well, I have a message for the kids too, John. But first I have to ask this question, just for the kids. Do you support Obama for president? Because we're forming KFO, Kids for Obama. And then we're forming another group, and we've got them all lined up, Young Adults for Obama. Oh, Young Adults for Obama. And they're all autonomous groups. They're not PACs or registered with anybody. They're just kids in every city in the United States of America.
Is the upper age limit for Kids for Obama 78?
No, the upper,
you could be in it.
The upper age for Kids for Obama is you're not old enough to vote. Kids, but there are requirements. At the bottom, you've got to be at least a walker to be here. That's mandatory. You may not be able to speak much or no more than your neighbor, but you got to be able to walk.
Congressman, you got elected to Congress in 1964. In the summer of 1964, you went to the Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City, and you watched as Fannie Lou Hamer and the Mississippi Freedom Delegation fought to be seated at a Democratic National Convention to participate in the politics of the Democratic Party. And you saw that struggle front and center. Tell us about that.
Oh, you bet. Because I've been going to Mississippi.
As a lawyer.
Yeah, for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which Dr. King. Matter of fact, it was amazing. I'd go in a courtroom, and the fight immediately began not around me defending my poor young guy that had been locked up for marching and protesting. They were challenging my right to represent him in Mississippi. And that frequently exhausted everybody to the point they said, let this guy go. But the question that was being raised against me was, why do you suspect, Attorney Conyers, that being a member of the Michigan Bar entitles you to practice law in the sovereign state of Mississippi? And I forgot what I was telling them was the answer, but it kept going on, and me and the judge and me and the prosecutors and me, and finally, one of the young fellows I represented, he was so amazed at this performance that he went out and he became a lawyer. He got to be a lawyer. And he practices law in Washington, D.C. right now. The young man that, he said, if Conyers can fly in here and do this, I can become a lawyer too.
Pretty good gig.
And so he did.
Now, Fannie Lou Hamer.
Oh, Channing Phillips, we nominated.
No, Fannie Lou Hamer.
Fannie Lou Hamer was running for Congress. And so was Victoria Gray in every congressional district.
In Mississippi.
In Mississippi, where you weren't able to vote in Mississippi, much less do this. I mean, they said, wait a minute, you're going to what? She said, yeah, I'm going to run for Congress because I'm tired of being non-represented. She wasn't misrepresented. She wasn't even counted. And so they came to Washington. We challenged, made the challenge in the Democratic caucus to unseat every Democrat, which everybody was, in Mississippi, that they would be challenged because they were unfairly elected.
I want these